T2 class is a rally within the rally. Four-wheel drives broadly divided into two categories of cars here in 2010. Prototypes that we see at the front and the unmodified production car class. This is T2. They've got standard suspension pickup points and really only an uprated ECU and a roll cage as modification. Nicolas Gibon saying the T2 car is standard with just a few mods for the Dakar. Brakes and the brake pads are all standard.
Plaquettes, tout ça c'est d'origine.
All original. The chassis is standard. We're only allowed to add some pieces to strengthen the chassis as per the regulations. The engine also is standard. Absolutely untouched.
Donc là on retrouve le poste de pilotage.
The dashboard, all strictly standard. We've only just removed the radio because it gets completely ruined because of the dust.
Parce qu'avec la poussière il tient pas longtemps malheureusement.
These Land Cruisers are the true ships of the desert. It's no wonder they're bomb-proof the world over. Toyota continue to take the T2 class very seriously. So seriously, Gibon's saying our budget is €2 million for two cars, which is huge. It's more money than some T1 cars have to spend. Yun Mitsuhashi is his teammate, formerly a bike rider on the Dakar. He's an hour behind Gibon and battling to be the winner of the class. The pair of them, well, they're 19th and 20th in the overall standing. A massive achievement considering the car is essentially straight out of the showroom. Toyota, it's very impressive for us because we use production cars, so the Land Cruiser we make for people at home is strong, tough and great PR for Toyota the world over with this Dakar rally. We have to try to win, and we are trying to do that. I've already overtaken some works cars and it's great to think that we are faster than a car that has already been victorious on the Dakar.
En se disant j'étais plus rapide que lui alors que ça c'est un ancien véhicule qui a déjà gagné le Dakar par exemple.
The Toyota Land Cruiser has become a favourite of many of the privateers who enter the Dakar rally with the production T2 class. However, Nissan are also in the class and also very competitive. Copiapo to La Serena, stage 9, shortened from 338 kilometres down to 170. Carlos Sainz leading the rally overall, but Stefan Pederhansel here saying it is not the same dunes than Africa and Mauritania here. They're impressive because they're high, but they're not soft. There are still traps, big traps at the top of the dunes. It's different from what we know in Africa. Very easy to get caught out here in South America. So the dunes were still the difficult part of the stage that was left in today's 170 kilometres by the organisers, who delayed the start of this stage 9 due to fog hampering the takeoff of the all-important medical and safety helicopters. Into the stage, Carlos Sainz had a bit of a fright this morning, starting the day leading by 14 minutes and 35 seconds. In the first few checkpoints, he had already lost to his teammate and the man behind him, battling also for Dakar victory. Nasser Al-Attiyah had already lost 6 minutes and 30 seconds. At the next checkpoint, he'd only just managed to gain back another 16 seconds. He was still 6¼ minutes back. There was a bit of worry going on inside that Volkswagen, and as Nasser Al-Attiyah had caught Carlos Sainz out there on the stage, Sainz eventually had a puncture towards the end, and even though he was driving fast, he also made a navigational error, so he saw some dust in the distance and did catch up with Al-Attiyah. Al-Attiyah though was eventually victorious on today's stage, victorious by just 1 second under 6 minutes. That's the biggest margin of victory so far in the Dakar rally this year on four wheels, and ironically on this, the shortest stage. Al-Attiyah has now really closed in on Carlos Sainz in the overall standings. Carlos Sainz heads the VW charge, just 8.5 minutes ahead of Nasser Al-Attiyah. Mark Miller lost a little bit of time today, 27 minutes he is behind Carlos Sainz, his teammate who is leading this rally. Once more the battering for Miller and co-driver Ralph Pitchford in the Volkswagen Touareg. But everything's solid for the American and he's safe on the podium. Now Peter Hansel was second on the stage early on to the flying Al-Attiyah, who was uncatchable. But later on, Peter Hansel stopped on the stage and lost time, precious time indeed. He didn't lose a place in the overall standings, but the man who was, well, leading this rally partway through the first week with a hand on his 10th Dakar victory ran into problems. He got caught on some camel grass and lost in about 20 minutes. Gerland Schischerit was only 1 minute off the leader Al-Attiyah in the stage, but he lost all of that advantage mid-stage this afternoon. Gerland Schischerit continues to hold 5th in the overall standings, even though he was 4th today. Now the big loser today is Christoph Olovic. The Nissan had rear differential problems. It had no chance at all of getting out of the stage under its own steam. Olovic is out of the rally and out of 6th position in the overall standings. That has meant that everybody like Carlos Souza, Spinelli and this man here, Orlando Terranova, go up 1 slot. Terranova now in 11th, as he is going to make a return over the Andes to his beloved Argentina. Here's Souza now up into 6th in the overall standings. Souza once more competitive on the stage. 9th doesn't sound great, but comparing his pace against the bulletproof diesels, that's a good run. Not quite as quick as the team boss, team manager and driver in the JMB Stradale Mitsubishi squads, Nicolas Mislan, having his best result on the stage of the Dakar so far this year. He was 7th. Leonard Novitsky, a politician in the Kremlin, Novitsky 8th. And easily inside the top 10 with 8th position. Robbie Gordon lost a little bit of time. He continues on the bubble of the top 10. His monster Hummer 3 as spectacular as always. Al-Attiyah victorious and pulling out nearly 6 minutes on Carlos Sainz. My goodness me, if he does that every day, we've got a race to Buenos Aires. Overall, Sainz now leads by just 8.5 minutes from Al-Attiyah. Miller, Peter Hansel and Schischerit stay in the same positions.
Oh, it's very tough. It's not easy stage and a lot of sand, a lot of dangerous place, and I am really very happy finish this stage without any problem, because I was a start car number 5 and I pass everybody, but really today never I push my life like this.
Complicated stage. We had a puncture early on, and after we then passed Stefan Peter Hansel, who was stuck, we then got lost ourselves and Nasser went ahead. I saw his dust and I followed him. We had to finish behind him. I did a mistake in the very slow part of the stage where the camel grass was. I got stuck in a hole, the front against the grass, the rear against the grass too. We had to shove the car bit by bit, and we were stuck there for nearly 20 minutes. Bad day. Kind of day where it's easy to make a mistake, and well, for me, unfortunately, I'm the only one who has made one, and that for me
c'était assez facile de faire des erreurs, et ben dans les voitures de tête, je suis le seul à en avoir fait, donc c'est un peu dommage. Non, mais bon, c'est comme ça.
The trucks made their way on stage 9, heading south in Chile from Copiapo down to La Serena. Some were taking a bit more of a gentle approach to the day's stage, even though the broken dunes were causing all sorts of problems. Square it up, go over and tumble down the other side. Ironically, there is a, well, not a snowboarding competition in this part of the world, but a sandboarding competition here in the Atacama Desert. Holidays in the Alpine regions, certainly a long way away from everybody's mind out there in the trucks. Teetering on the edge. One hell of a view, but not a view you want to look at for too long because you're going to get stuck. So soft. These giants of the desert, well, they then just get made to look, ironically, so pathetic. They are anything but pathetic. And once you hear a truck coming, particularly if it's maybe one of your teammates, you need to grab them. Get the rope attached and get that thing out. Long days for these guys, long days. But once you've got somebody attached, get out of the way in case that rope breaks, and put the thing in reverse and use every single one of its horsepower and drag it out. Perfect. At the front though, the action has continued between the leading Kamaz trucks. Over the line, it was actually Russian Ferdas Kabirov in his Kamaz who has been victorious on the stage, picking up his second stage victory of this year's Dakar. It's his 31st Dakar stage victory of his career. He finished 4 minutes and 41 seconds ahead of his teammate Vladimir Shagin, and an amazing 14 minutes ahead of Frenchman Joseph Adeau, who's not in a Kamaz. You'll be surprised to know he's actually in an Iveco. In the general standings, it's no problem though for Shagin, who still leads comfortably. Shagin therefore has been deprived today from stealing a march over Stefan Pederhansel in the car class in their combat for the absolute record of stage victories in the event. For the moment, the Tsar from Russia and Petter, the nickname for Pederhansel, they are stuck level on 54 Dakar stage victories each. Tomorrow is stage 10 as we go from La Serena down to the capital city of Chile, to Santiago, a breathtaking stage of yet another 238 kilometers. The shores of the Pacific Ocean will be left as we make our way back towards the foothills of the Andes and into Argentina as the Dakar continues to its ends in Buenos Aires. Join us soon for more action.